This is the Red Line Network.
Step up, step in, we got the facts on the screen. Talk of the town and the truth in between. Every hot take gets a minute to shine. Then we cut through line by line. Say it plain, don't dress it up. If the story bends, we call it out. For what it's worth, for what it's worth, we ask the room, what is it worth? For what it's worth, for what it's worth, no cheap applause. Just
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday. Almost 6 months into a war. That we've won,
names on the
252
table,
times.
hands on the wheel. Who gets the
The Strait of Hormuz has been
who
open and
gets the
closed
deal? From the hall to the
know.
curb, from the vote to the bill. We
80
keep
times.
it honest, we keep it
Welcome
still.
for what it's
Say
worth.
plain,
All things political.
don't dress it up.
Here on the Red Line Radio Network, I'm your host, the audio
If the
host,
story
Bald Headed,
bends,
Brian Knapp.
we call it out.
Thanks for the Ginge Quartet.
For what it's worth, for what it's worth, we ask the room, what is it worth?
That's right, for what it's worth here on the Red Line Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in. There's so much shit to go over. I don't even know where to start. We'll start out with some funny. Don't know if this was from today or over the weekend, but this is President Stupid talking about 5G as opposed to 6G.
So we're into 6G now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done, and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is. I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna. But I tell you, it's so the 6 is coming, huh?
The fuck are you talking about? I just thought it was funny. He had no idea what he was talking about. Nothing. None. But it's good. It's good stuff. It's good comedy. It's really good comedy. I found this kind of interesting too, and I found this kind of funny. Here's another idiot, Jesse Waters. He's talking about how good the Iran war is going.
The bombing campaign was a major success. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper told Trump we're out of targets to hit along the coastline. And since we sent our B-1 bombers to redecorate, the mullahs are playing ball for now. Trump's drawing up the most sophisticated operation in history. The mission? Snatch Iran's enriched uranium right out of their nuclear facilities. The targets are locked. We could also be going into Pickaxe Mountain, Maduro style. Thousands of special operation forces would be sent out on a seek and destroy mission.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington. Iran launching what the U.S. military describes as a new surprise attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. Officials say several ballistic missiles were intercepted. U.S. and Saudi Arabian forces responding with precision strikes on Iran-backed groups in Iraq accused of targeting U.S. troops and Saudi energy sites. Now,
Iran launched a surprise attack against U.S. forces in Jordan.
But it's going real well. Yeah. The war's going really well. I just thought it was funny. This is like what? to 250 time that the war's going well, that we're close to a deal, that Iran wants to make a deal. And of course, President Stupid will come out and he said he'll say he stopped 250 wars. It's just, don't even get me started, man. Everybody thinks we're winning the war. Of course, Mag will tell you that. But here's General Kimmett. His view on the war in Iran.
Well, first of all, I think we've got to understand we're sending two different messages to the Iranians. We have people that are saying, I think this is going to be over quickly, but you heard the president just then basically caution patience. And patience is what the Iranians are using against us. They hear about we don't like forever wars. We want to get out of this quickly. We want to get this done quickly. But that's not how you defeat the Iranians. You defeat the Iranians by going patience against patience. If you say we want to get this done quickly, they'll just strap in their seatbelts and say, we win by not losing. We can take the bombing, you'll leave, and we'll have what we want.
That's a general talking, that we're losing the war. So again, I found that kind of interesting. It's a general, man. That's a general talking. That's not the wannabe Pete Hegseth. It's not Marco Rubio talking. That's a general. Here's Professor Robert Pape. He was on CNN with Dana Bash. He also says that Iran's winning the war.
So, Professor, in your opinion, who's winning this war right now?
Iran is winning the war without a doubt. Iran is winning the war because, number one, it controls Hormuz. That is what's the main blocking force that is choking off the world's energy supplies. Number two, Iran has pummeled American bases in the region. A lot of these bases are not really usable for the operations as forward bases the way they were planned.
Well, let me interrupt you for 1 second. Professor, why would Iran do that? Why would Iran take that risk, attacking U.S. installations, or trying to at least, in Jordan? What message is it trying to send here?
It's sending the message, America, go home. It wants American forces out of the region. Otherwise, it fears it will just be attacked.
But again, we're winning the war. And like the previous clip, General Kimmett, I'm sorry. That's a general. I mean, what are you going to say? The next clip. This is Representative Jim Jordan. He was on with Dana Bash. This goes on for 2 minutes. I'll let you form your own conclusion.
Before I let you go, last week you sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department for former special counsel Jack Smith for making what you allege to be false statements during a congressional deposition last year. Todd Blanche was President Trump's defense attorney during that Smith investigation. Should he recuse himself, even as acting attorney general, from any prosecutorial decisions involving Smith?
No, of course not.
Why?
Of course not. He should just follow the facts. He should keep doing the great work because he's the Attorney General of the United States.
But he was the president's personal attorney for this case.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. Jack Smith is supposed to tell us the truth. We ask him, did you get the contents of any communications of United States members of the United States Congress? And he said, no, he didn't, when in fact he did. I mean, did Jack Smith not know? Was he that ridiculous? I mean, he's supposed to be the smartest guy in the world. He's supposed to be as smart as Anthony Fauci, for goodness sake. He did not know that? You can't sit under oath and tell us you did not get the contents of communications of members of Congress when, in fact, you did. And that's pretty clear. And so if Todd wants, if the Justice Department wants to prosecute him, that's up to them. He should not recuse himself.
Okay, we're out of time, but I just want to say that what Smith says and what Jamie Raskin, your counterpart, has said in a statement is not that he didn't tell you the truth, that you guys didn't ask him the right question. That you didn't ask him the right question.
Come on, come on. We say at the start of every deposition, you have an obligation to give us the full truth. You can't give us part of the truth.
But
you got to give us the all the facts, and he did not do that. And you're trying. I mean, that is first of all, he went and got our phone records.
I'm just saying what he said.
Then we were asking.
Okay,
he got the contents of communications. He did not filter that out. That is a violation of the Constitution, speech or debate clause, clear as day.
Okay. Jamie Raskin says that the question was not followed up on.
Of course, the Democrats are going to say that.
I wasn't there. You guys were there. So listen, I appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. And again, come back after you get more information about the case with the reflecting pool.
Sure, will do.
Okay.
Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. 2 thumbs up. Thank you, whoever's tuning in. Again, I prefaced this show, I should have prefaced this show again by saying I'm not a political journalist. I'm not an analyst. I'm none of that. I'm not a political reporter. I just listen to all the facts, form my own opinion, present them to you, and you can form your own opinion on what you hear. So if you're going to side with Jim Jordan on that, whatever. And of course, RFK Jr. was on Dana Bash yesterday too, and had a complete meltdown about vaccinations and whatnot. And I just, again, I'll just let you form your own opinion.
But I also don't want to use this interview to allow you to say things that aren't entirely true. You're talking about therapeutics, fine. It is also factually true that the COVID vaccine worked. The COVID vaccine prevented deaths. There is data upon data upon data. Let's talk about the measles, please, because this is something that is happening as we speak. The cases in the U.S.
vaccine protected children.
I think that what I have talked to scientists and doctors about.
Scientists. Can you show me one study?
Yes, I can.
That shows that
I can.
Children were protected by the COVID vaccine.
I can tell you that there
vaccine did more good than harm to children. Can you show me one study that shows that?
I can tell you that when it comes to the vaccine, there have been studies that show that because of vaccine disinformation, there could have been 100 to 200,000 lives in the U.S. saved. But because people didn't get the vaccine, that's why. I'm not saying that it entirely.
Let me finish. You are saying something that you cannot show me a single study.
I am not saying nonsense.
You are talking what somebody told you.
Excuse me.
And you cite me the study. What study?
No, what studies are you talking about? You're talking about studies that actually don't exist. I want to talk about.
Cite me the study that you're talking about.
I am not here to defend.
Studies. Cite me the study.
This is not productive. I am not here to defend all of the. Let me
you're
finish.
Talking nonsense. You're making assertions you can't support, and then when I call you on them, you're telling me that I'm arguing.
Okay. Do you want to talk about assertions that you can't support? I'll get there in a second. Let me just say, for the record, that I am not saying that the entire way that the COVID reaction was accurate. It was a scary time, and people made mistakes. Absolutely.
You were scaring people.
Why are you saying that?
Because that was the job of CNN.
Okay.
Was to put the chyrons up about how many people are dying.
We were trying to we were listening to the leaders in this country, including the president, who had a daily press conference explaining what was going on and trying to listen.
Were you listening?
I want to talk to measles.
Actually, were you reading the science yourself?
The measles cases in the U.S. just reached a 35-year high.
You can form your own opinion. That's the head of the health department, ladies and gentlemen, who's really a few sandwiches short of a picnic, by the way. I'm not here to judge. I just think it's funny. Here's President Stupid. He's talking about doing this is going to be the. Just I'll let you listen to him.
We're asked by the three primary groups. We're also asked by Iran, very strongly, actually. They said, we'd like to make a deal. Now, I don't know what they say, because a lot of times they'll say that to me, and then they'll go out and say, we don't know what he's talking about. Obviously, they don't want to be attacked. And they knew the extent of the attack because they saw it forming.
What happens now?
Well, now what we're doing is we're talking to them in the form of a negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see if it's true. I'd love to do that, save a lot of lives, save a lot of unnecessary power, to be honest with you. It would take many, many years to ever build it back. If it could, I don't think it would be even buildable back. So we had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous for them. And they didn't want us to do it. And frankly, Saudi Arabia didn't want it either. They thought that a deal is imminent.
Biggest since World War II. That was yesterday, by the way. I don't know what the peace talks have entailed up to this point. Maybe I'm missing something. I keep checking the news tickers, and I see nothing. Although he says he wants to give Iran every last chance before decapitation. Whatever the fuck that means. I have no idea what decapitation. He's used that before. There's been no decapitating going on, by the way. No decapitation. This is everybody says I have TDS, Trump, fucking whatever it is. I call it Trump dumbass syndrome. He can't remember that he gave Fauci an award. He doesn't think he did, but
you actually gave him a presidential commendation before you left office. Wouldn't you like a do-over on that?
I don't know who gave him the commendation. I really don't know who gave him the commendation.
Presidential commendation. One went out to Mark
Somebody
Milley, too.
probably handed him a commendation.
Of course, the someone who handed Dr. Fauci and others who were involved in Operation Warp Speed vaccine efforts that commendation was former President Trump himself. You can see it here. This happened on his last full day in office, January 19th, 2021. One of his 2024 campaign rivals is not buying that he doesn't remember who did so.
Was that the immaculate commendation that just happened to happen?
And people wanted to talk about Biden and forgetting stuff, losing his train of thought, falling asleep, all this other shit. Oh. What's this next clip? Oh, this is Dana Bash again from CNN and Representative Jordan. They're talking about actually, no, that's the same clip. Now, here we go. This is them going back and forth on
they were one of the facts now, and this is based on what the president's own U.S. attorney, Jeanine Pirro, who I know you know well, she used to be on Fox, said in a court document. The ramifications of it was that they were trying to send a man who was innocent to jail based on lies about vandalism. He was accused of crimes that he did not commit. As chair of the Judiciary Committee, does that bother you?
If those are the facts, of course, but I don't know that those are the facts. We have not seen all that evidence. What I do know is what I talked about Mark Houck. What I do know what happened in the Garland Biden Justice Department is FBI whistleblowers that came to us.
I'm asking you about
No,
now.
I'm not turning back. I'm telling you things I know about. I don't know all the facts with this case, but with those cases I do.
Once you learn all the facts,
and when FBI whistleblowers were retaliated against, that was wrong. That's what this fund is for.
Okay, I am interested. I do want to talk to you again once you get all the facts, because this seems like if you want the weaponization fund, seems like weaponization against somebody. Never mind that he was an Olympian for the United States.
Spin doctoring, spin doctoring, spin doctoring. That's all I can say. And then, of course, in his White House presser, whatever the fuck they call him, I don't know what they call him. He had his whole cabinet there in front of him. He basically throws the Imperial under the bus.
One mistake with the reflecting pond, they hadn't put up the cameras yet. They had enough up because you see what's happening. But if they would have had them up, we would have had it would have been a lot easier. And I was disappointed with Jeanine Pirro, really disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella, and people get away with things, and it's a disgrace. But we're very proud of Lafayette Park. Now we have a big decision to make. Do we take the pavers that are red, the red brick pavers, and do we change them into a granite? It's a gray granite, they're beautiful, but they're not the original. So we're gonna have to make that decision. You have a good sense of taste. What would you do? Huh?
Yes, change it.
You would change the red brick into the granite.
Heartbeat.
The granite is much stronger, holds up much better. Different color.
Legacy.
Change it. Okay.
Are you considering firing Pirro, Mr. President?
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, and then I didn't put in, he was asked if he's considering firing Pirro, and he told the reporter to just never speak again. But then I just saw something that insiders are saying that he's considering it. So yeah. Where do I want to go next? Oh, and also I found this humorous. He said this at his presser too.
She basically responds to the public when the public, they send things. Sometimes they send gifts. Actually, it amounts to millions of dollars in small money. And I said, well, what happens to that money? They send it back, or they do charitable work, but it's literally millions. They send it to me. I should be able to get it. She won't give it to me. I should be entitled to it.
Basically saying that the gifts that he receives from whoever, millions of dollars, that he should get it. It shouldn't go to charities and whatnot. Delusional, deranged, maniacal, just a clown. Here is a clip. This is on Piers Morgan show. This is Saeed Marandi and Ellen Dershowitz going back and forth, just basically lambasting one another, lambasting their religions, lambasting what they stand for. This is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care who's in office, wherever it is, what time period is, there will never be peace in the Middle East, period. Because these are the way, this is 90% of what the other thinks about the other as far as national.
You are the Nazi regime that is carrying out a Holocaust in Gaza. You are the Nazi who is doing it as we speak. You're the evil monster. You say Israel is not a colonial regime? You're from Eastern Europe. You're European. All of those Ashkenazi Jews who are now running the country, they're from Eastern Europe. You came and slaughtered. I'm talking. I didn't interrupt you as you were ranting. You're the people who you support, the people who are running the country, they're Polish. They're Ukrainian. They're from Czechoslovakia. They're from Eastern Europe. You're not even Semite. You're the anti-Semite because you've been slaughtered. You won't let me talk. You are afraid. You're afraid because you know you have no argument. You have no leg to stand on. You slaughtered the Semite Palestinians and you took their land. And you are a proud Zionist who supports a regime that celebrates the rapists in prison. They rape Palestinians in prison and then they're celebrated on television. This is, if you don't let me talk, you're just exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself just as you exposed yourself with Epstein.
I'm Israel.
So in response to your nonsense, the nonsense about 50,000 people, those lies have been responded to by the Iranian people. Stop ranting. I'm speaking. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. 3,117 people died thanks to an armed insurgency that your regime and the Israeli regime funded and supported. And you're a coward. You are a coward. You won't let me talk. You're afraid. You're afraid of me talking.
Don't tell me I'm afraid.
The lawyer, Epstein's lawyer, Trump's lawyer, is afraid of me, a layman, talking. Why? Because you have no leg to stand on. The Iranian people have spoken. They went to the streets in the tens of millions. They went. You're a coward. You won't let me talk. I let you talk because I'm not afraid of you. People are not afraid of you anymore. You can kill Epstein. You can kill whoever you like, but we're not afraid. You can bomb my house. You can kill me with my family, but I'm not afraid of you. I will support the Palestinian people until your regime bombs my home. So go and tell them that. I'm prepared to die for the Palestinian people. But you who used to frequent Epstein Island, you have no principles and no morality. The Iranian people came to the streets in the tens of millions. We all know it. The footage is there. The international journalists were there, not just in Iran, but in Iraq. The Iranian people have spoken whose side they are. No one is going to be fooled by your propaganda to justify war.
Been going on for 3,000 years. Never change. Period. Period. Last clip I'm going to play before I head out for the evening. I've been saying this since before Trump got elected, that if he ever got elected, it was going to be a vendetta tour. It was going to be about revenge. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about me. He doesn't give a fuck about the voters. He doesn't care about the American people. This is what Chris Christie said.
Showed this week what he cares about most.
Yeah, look, it's revenge, 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 and owning the Justice Department as if it's his own private law firm, George. And so you start off with the weaponization fund. Here's what John Cornyn and Thom Tillis, thankfully, finally have learned, is no deal that Donald Trump gives you with his mouth is ever worth anything. And so why didn't they go to a writing to get rid of the weaponization fund and maybe some degree of the immunity he's getting and his family from the IRS? Because Trump was waiting for Blanche to get confirmed, and then he was going to enforce the written deal that he had. And Blanche knew it, and that's why Blanche wouldn't put it in writing, because the president wouldn't permit him to, because he doesn't work for us. He said it very clearly in a real Freudian moment when he said, I'm his lawyer. I mean, I was his lawyer. He's still his lawyer. The Justice Department is Donald Trump's professional legal firm. That's what they're doing for him. And what happened this week in all these other matters as well is just another indication of that fact.
There
you have it. It's a vendetta tour. That's all it is. Before I leave, I got to do this. Where am I going here? That's going to do it for me here on the Red Line Radio Network. Tomorrow, back to back at 7 o'clock, another edition of our Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. And at 8 p.m., Student Body Right. Joining me on tomorrow's Student Body Right will be Mr. Jason Staples. Covers North Carolina football. At Doc Staples on the X. Former coach, Unconquered Pod, football analyst at Inside Carolina. His book, Amazon.2/3WCNUET. Opinions are his. Non-sports at Jason Staples. Talk about Bill Belichick heading into his second year as a head coach in North Carolina. Last year was disaster. Will they be much improved this year? I will ask many questions about that. I'm out of here. Is it raining again? No. It is not raining. Everybody have a fantastic night. I'll see everybody tomorrow here on the Red Line Radio Network.
Loud, we lean in close, one clear voice against the smoke. No pretty spin, no empty pose. Say it again so everybody knows. For what it's worth, for what it's worth, we ask the room, what is it worth? For what it's worth, for what it's worth, no cheap applause, just the truth first.
This is the Red Line Network.